morning. Good morning. My hands actually. Daydreaming. What's good, YouTube? This is my first capsule, man. Last night I did like 3 videos, but I'm like, in 3 videos as in I tried to do this video over 3 times, but I figured out what it is, and I'm ready to just do it the way I need to, so I can get my message out. I gotta low-key give me some better backs for these earrings, bro. I've been lost the backs for these like months ago. It's actually, first of all, let me just say this. It's like, it is January 8th right now. The sun is out. Like, it's weird, bro. It doesn't almost feel like we're in the winter time. It almost feels like we're coming out of the winter. Like, even like this grass over here is like still, what you call it? Why the hell? Oh, snipes. Alright, man. Now look, I'm gonna take this hat off. My hair looks crazy. I washed it last night, so it looks very just dry. I gotta throw some oils in it. Let me just throw some oil in it, man. Throw some oil in it. Dang, I do got some more oil. Right? Yikes, I might have to go grab some oil. I don't think I got any. Dang, no. I don't have no hair oil. I thought I had some. I guess not, but low key, I got some in this bag. You didn't see me struggle. Let me see. I usually got like some essential oil or something, bro. Like, there we go. Boom. Yeah. That book bag is heavy, bro, with my dang laptop in it. I got a lot going on. Alright. Let me just put some oil in my hair, man. But let me talk to y'all, alright? Throw this off. You gotta throw that off. Throw that out. But let me formally introduce myself. My name is Ajane. I am a nomadic artist right now in Michigan. This is my first capsule, man. This whole YouTube, man, I want y'all to look at it more so like a self-exposure project for myself. I call this channel an era because it is like a new era for me. Like, I had this channel for about, man, like, I had this channel for like 10 years. I think you could check the age of it like on my profile. But 9 to 8 years I had this channel, man. Okay? I always had plans of like doing YouTube, but the thing was, I was one of those people who was like going through so much shit in life. I didn't really feel like comfortable sharing that part of my life with the world. I didn't feel like it was necessary. I felt like I had to get to somewhere good first, and then I could like show myself to the world because I felt more comfortable in my situation. The truth is, man, after the year I had in 2025, I learned that there's no point in waiting for comfortability. You feel what I'm saying? Especially if life is like always constant trials, challenges. And some people may already know that, but for me, it was like a very hard thing for me to grasp because I lived a very stimulating upbringing, man. Like, insecure kid, you know, was, man, just went through a lot as a kid, bro. Like, and you know, I rose up like as a strong individual through all of this, but it also like, it made me shrink inward, you know what I'm saying? Because of so much I seen on the outside and just not wanting to be involved with it. But I'm 25, right? And in this year, 2026, I'm turning 26 on January 26th. And again, after this year, 2025, what I went through, something like literally woke me up, bro. And it was like, you know, I need to do this, you know, not because I feel like I need to create, but I need to do this like for myself. You know, I need to find a way to just push myself online and you know, find my expression, you know, that has been robbed from me, that has been kind of like almost targeted, you feel what I'm saying, because of the situations I've been through and the things I've seen. And you'll be surprised, you know, how hard people will fight you on certain situations because you know certain things and they're nervous you may expose these things. Well, before I get into this quick testimony, because before I even get into this project, letting myself flow, letting everything go, I have to tell this story, because this is the reason why I'm actually taking this step now and not waiting for my life to get more comfortable, you know, for me to tell a story that low-key probably needs to already be out. In 2025, man, I went through like, I would say like 3 big major things, and I actually have a case out and other things out going along with the things I went through in 2025, because it was that serious. There were attempts to set me up. There were attempts to rob me. I had a grown man at my job that I worked at for 5 years. This man, he wasn't there as long as I was, but he came like around like the second last year. I think he came around late 2023. I went through some weird stuff with him in 2024, and 2025 is when I caught this man putting a camera on me, surveillancing me at my job on June 10th, right? But in the beginning of 2025, my mom ended up kicking me out of her house. And even shortly after kicking me out, my mom ended up threatening me. You know, if I left, I would regret it. Like, she was threatening me. And I even asked my mother, like, in the moment of that, like, heated moment, like, you know, was that a threat? And my mom looked me clearly in my face and told me, like, you just see, right? Ever since, you know, that threat, I, like, literally put up boundaries towards my mother, because every time I would, like, express to her, like, yo, like, we don't do that, and you threaten me, my mom would ignore it. She wouldn't even, like, address it. She'll just kind of keep trying to have me do things for her while I'm not living in a house with her no more, and it made me feel uncomfortable. And I would tell her, like, I don't trust you, like, the fact that you kicked me out. And then, like, my mom was also doing extra shit, like telling people I was on drugs and I was losing all this weight, like. And my mom basically did not let me leave in peace, although she knew, like, I was being held back in her situation. My mom struggled my whole life. You know what I'm saying? I didn't put my mom in struggle. And I seen the older I got in my mother's house, the blame was starting to be pushed on me, you know, because now I'm getting older, and now it's like this excuse of I needed to do more so I could help her out more. And through all of this, you know, being blinded and being bone rushed with, like, emergencies, you know, I'm turning 24 and I'm realizing, like, damn, I've done nothing for myself. I might have saved me a car, got me a camera, you know, for my investment, because I'm an artist and I do know how to take care of myself. But I realized it also shortened, like, another important part of my life that I truly needed, which was me to focus on myself so I can actually build my own foundation, so I can actually take care of myself and possibly my family. And I realized when I was giving half to my mom, giving half to myself, and sometimes a quarter to myself, because my mom's situation was so serious, I lost more out of that. And I realized I needed the resources more than she did. And not to say because, you know, I was more important, but I was younger than my mother. My mother been doing this for 50 years. And now I'm 24, you know, and I started working at 19, taking care of myself, bro. My mom always had help taking care of me. It always been hard for her. So when 19 came and I got my first job, I took over everything. I eventually ended up start buying my own damn groceries, because, like, my mom would try to find different ways to bully me, because it was like, well, I'm doing this. Until I had to start taking hold of my own, control of my own life in my mother's home, which I wasn't, you know, mad about, because it taught me how to take care of myself. Although I was in such a situation where I was kind of helping somebody else get back on their feet. And this wasn't like a little one seasonal thing, bro. This was yearly. Like, my mom kept going through things. 2025 come. And at the end of, like, 2024, we got in a big argument. My mom would, like, do this more because she didn't have a job at the time. And it became very stressful, bro. Like, our house was, like, really going through a lot. We damn near was living like squatters, right? I'm not even going to go into the details, because I don't want to expose my mom's situation like that, because I don't have nothing against my mother. But me and my mom aren't talking anymore, but I am going to tell I'm going to tell as much as most of, like, what I went through. But I'm going to try to respect my mother's privacy, because I don't live there no more. We were living like fucking squatters, okay? That house damn near, like, was not livable. Mold. I'm gonna stop right there, okay? My mom ended up like, you know, doing this thing she's usually used to doing where she gets overstimulated and she wants to pick at one little thing and she wants to blow up and then use this moment to critique me, to insult me. And I just got tired of it. And I corrected her this time. I told her, look, I'm not going to allow you to talk to me like this. You know, I've been trying to have my mom do family meetings so we can fix things in our family household. But my mom has so much secrets. She just was always going against and working against me. And instead of like trying to make things better, my mom was almost trying to do things behind the scenes to help herself. But it only made things worse. So when my mom threatened me and said, get the fuck out because I wasn't allowing her to do certain things and I was standing up for myself and for the house, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna leave. This is in the beginning of 2025. I started gathering all my stuff out my room. Hardest stuff. This is not easy to go through, right? I put all my eggs in this basket and now I'm like being kicked out. And my mom knew this. Like, she was rubbing it in my face. I remember like for my whole birthday month of 2025, she wasn't talking to me. She'll talk to me all dry. I remember I came up to my mom like, look, I'm trying to figure something out. Like, you know, my job that they said they're gonna give me. My mom looked at me in my face like, good. Like, she wanted me out the house, bro. And I'm just like, but okay. Stayed to myself, man. I'm gonna try not to get emotional. Because it's my mom, bro, and I love her, but things happen. End up getting ready to leave. You know, I didn't have a lot of money because my savings was, like, kind of almost going into the house to make our situation more comfortable. So I asked her, like, yo, can I at least keep the last month of rent? You know what I'm saying? So I can just hurry up, give me an apartment because I'm gonna be out here homeless. My mom told me no. She's like, you gonna pay me more. And not because I owed her more, but because my mom was in such a troubling situation. So it was like she was saying, I'm gonna take as much out of you as I can before you leave this motherfucker because I want you to see how hard it is. And I just told my mom, I'm gonna pay you the rent, but I'm not paying nothing extra. I walk out, my mom start following me, cussing me out, spitting at the back of my neck, calling me a selfish bitch, all of this, like, and literally in the middle of that, my mom threatened me, bro, and it was the weirdest threat ever. She looked at me in my face and said, if you leave, you gonna regret it. And I'm like, and this is why she like in my door, pushing my door open. And I'm like, I open my door and I'm like, that's a threat? My mom looked me in my face and said, you just see. I took all that pain and I still left, right? On the day I was supposed to leave, a day early actually. I just had to get all my stuff out of my room. Got a storage unit, a P.O. box, all of this. It was crazy too, because as I'm like going through this journey, just trying to get my life together, I was dealing with my mom saying things behind my back. Like, she was making sure to tarnish my name. It wasn't just, oh, my daughter's leaving so she could get her life together. It was like, no, she on drugs. She over there popping her thing with a needle. And it was just like, yo, like, but I just made sure to keep my boundaries up. I was telling my little sister, like, look, I know mama's saying little weird shit like this and that and that. She's not being honest, but I'm gonna just do my thing, stay over here. Even my little sister couldn't respect those boundaries. It's like she kept trying to get me and my mom to be cool, but my mom was not trying to actually reprimand what she actually did. So I said no. But I still have family members trying to put me around my mother. And it's like, if I told you I don't feel safe, this woman threatened me. And it's actually even old situations that I got into weirdly. And I told my mom and she acted like she didn't know. Like, it's a whole rap sheet of this. But nobody was respecting my wishes. So I ended up having to block my mom, my sister, because every time I was telling people what I was going through, it's like people was telling me, just go through it. Why are you complaining about it? Okay, it's a threat. Okay, oh my God, you know she didn't mean it. But it's like, well, did she not mean it? If I asked her, like, why would you say that and that she denies it? That's somebody who's trying to keep a promise. And my mom was trying to intimidate me. So I was just like, go be dangerous with those other kids. You're not about to threaten me and then go to my other siblings and then call me crazy and then like almost hold this. Nah, it's like I have to deny my reality for you to like be comfortable. And it's like, no, right? Months later after that situation, me trying to get myself together, I've been at this job for 5 years, right? I worked at a high-rise building in downtown Detroit. Concierge. Been at this job for 5 years, bro. About to be my 6th year in 2025. The man I was telling you I had to run in with in like 2024, his name is Marvin. And I don't care about saying his first name because this man went around lying about my name. And if you get to lie on me, I get to tell the truth about you. Especially with me just letting this go and now me healing, right? I caught a man named Marvin. I already had dealings with him. I already told to leave me alone. Caught this dude on June 10th, surveillancing me, right? My job is to watch the cameras. I always had to be on high alert with this man because he was very psychologically, like, just... man, I can't even, like, he was in the military and he's a level 2 programmer. Dude, 6-7 years older than me. But he was just one of those very just, man, like, just a bully, right? Would come around you, insult you, you know, act like he's better than you, and want to feel like this godly presence. Like, he just had this presence about him. And I never really cared about it because I dealt with people 24/7. But when I noticed this man was starting to invade my privacy, and then it was crazy, right? Because I didn't confront him the day I caught him. I only told the woman I know he was stalking as well. And it turns out these people ended up dealing with each other, and they had this sneaky thing going on. So when I brought it to her, it was like almost like her secret was being put out. So this lady lied to me, right? Told me she ain't know him. As I go and tell my office, you know, that this man is invading my privacy, I showed my manager everything, the footage. She seen everything. And this was the day I also went to the cops. Still, I didn't tell this man. The whole time this man, because I basically let him know I knew he was surveillancing me. Because once I found out he was surveillancing me, I'm going to put the photo on YouTube or on this like platform. It was of his baby's bike, and he had a little camera on that motherfucker behind me. And the only reason why I knew that is because every time I went to like surveillance the cameras and I went to the camera where he was at, he would look at the camera like he knew I was like on that camera. And I'd be like, what the hell? Soon as I looked behind me, I realized this man had his baby's bike behind me. Now, in the room he's in, he could have took that bike in there, but I remember he was doing this for a week, and he would always make sure I seen him doing it, like he wanted to bother me, like, yeah, I'm putting my stuff behind you, what you gonna do? And I would just ignore him. But it was until this moment I'm looking at the cameras, and again, I had to be on high alert with this man, because this man would come around my desk insulting me, would bring other people around to insult me and shit like that. So as I'm watching this man on the camera, I'm watching him also watch this young lady's car that lives in the building. I'm kind of like just looking at him like, man, like, you a little off. As I'm doing that, this man looks at the camera I'm looking at him on. He goes, I'm like, what the fuck? I look again, and he like does it again. Something tells me, look behind you. I look behind me, and I kid you not, I see this man's baby bike, right? And when I do that, it made him nervous. And that's when I'm like, what the fuck? I do a few little test trials, and then I finally, at the end of like my last test to see, like, let me see if this dude is really like surveillancing me, right? I turn around towards the bike and I do this face, right? Soon as I do that, he gets up, get the looking all around, like, how did I figure it out? Bro, like, at that point, I didn't know what to think. I'm like, I ain't never been through this situation before, and I didn't confront him. Even when he came out, he hurried up, came out, got his bike, pulled it on the elevator, was looking at me with these eyes like, what you gonna do? I remember I didn't confront this man at all. I didn't tell him I knew what he was doing. I was like, I'm gonna just go to the cops tomorrow, put in the information. I'm not dealing with this shit, bro. I'm already dealing with enough with my mom. I kid you not, the whole week before like the cops even went to his apartment to tell him like, hey, this person put information on you, leave this person alone. This dude was rubbing it in my face, staring at me all crazy, walking around me, my desk, rubbing his hands together, doing all of this, being cocky. Even came back downstairs the day I called him. Like, we both knew what he was doing. And he even was like trying to trigger me, saying, oh yeah, I gotta get that camera. Da da da. Looking at me in my eyes, trying to intimidate me. He's doing this shit, holding his daughter, bro. Sick man, right? I'm thinking, once I go to the cops, put this information on, this man gonna back off, leave me alone, right? No. This man started stalking me heavier. This man started getting other people to stalk me and gang stalk me. I had people around my building, you feel what I'm saying, pointing at me, looking at the camera, because this man was telling them things behind the scenes that wasn't true. This man also was going to women I did not know, lying to them as if I was getting his way, and it was so much going on, right? The shit got so dangerous. More people got involved, and they started harassing me, telling lies on me. Even a woman got involved that this man was trying to compete with me over. Because he had some of her secrets, he got this woman involved to lie on me, to go in my office and say I was harassing her. This was a woman I was literally running from. A woman who kept introducing me to her sisters and calling, you know, telling me I smell good, complimenting my jewelry. This was a woman I literally had to put boundaries up with, right? This woman on October 8th went into my job and lied on me, okay? There was a moment in the middle of all of this, like, drama, right? Where I knew this man was dealing with her, because he would always kind of be telling their business, walking past me, like he wanted me to know that he was talking to her. I didn't care about this stuff, but men do this type of thing, right? And if you don't know my gender, I am a woman. I am a masculine expression woman, right? And I'm used to men kind of like trying to like corner me into this like triangulation, because they're inferior to how comfortable I am in my expression, right? And I naturally attract people. So it's like, I get a lot of people try to like compete with me in that. And bro, I've been abstinent for 3 years. I was not worried about this chick, right? I already had solidarity over my lust. You know, I already had solidarity over like looking at people who are attractive. Like, I could view somebody, but I wasn't like that. Long story short, right? This chick was also like kind of like weird herself. Like, she would try to be nice to me, but when she seen I wasn't like very outgoing in that way, it's almost like she was trying to switch the narrative and put me in her position, right? She was chasing me, being obsessed with me, trying to say hi to me. Like, I had to stop talking to her once I found out she was dealing with this man and she was lying. I ended up finding out through my office, because the moment I went and turned him in, it was like, she doesn't know him either. I find out she actually does know him. So it's like when I came to this woman to tell her like, yo, there's some weird shit going on and I feel like he's doing this because of you, she like almost took it as like, oh, people are fighting over me. And I'm looking at her like, yo, I'm going through something serious. And you may too. You may be too. No. She ends up like partnering with this man, and I could tell, because it's like now all of a sudden, like what he was doing, she started doing. She started walking past me, smiling and smirking, laughing to herself like she knew things. Like, I'm basically being bullied at my job, bro. I've been there for 5 years because 2 people are mad they can't have me the way they want to have me, right? October 8th, this woman goes and do the last damning thing, right? And it's crazy because the day before that, I literally walked past this woman and ignored her. And I remember saying into my soul, like, that pissed her off. Literally the next day, my manager comes to me like, can we talk in the office? I'm like, yeah. She like, so this woman came in and she reported you. I was like, what? I got the cutting up. I'm like, what are you? Da, 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 da. And my office already had like a whole thing of me and this man, because this man kept falsely reporting me. He kept going around my business, starting drama. And then this man even had the nerve to try to shush me. He went to his lawyer and had him send me a cease and desist, and was talking about I was harassing him. Like, it was way too much, yo. And I was like, what? Man, I'm in there cutting up like, man, this girl was chasing me around, flirting with me, telling me, you know, like, oh my God, bro. I was just like pissed. And I got like, bro, I got recordings, right? I had to do this because these people were like trying to set me up on the premises. But my job did not handle that situation well. And I know it's because this man, once I told the cops on him, he started doing his work through other people. So it's like my job, they couldn't even keep up. So I'm like, you know what? Instead of standing here trying to be tough, you know, I'm already dealing with enough, and I'm getting emotional, but I won't. I'm gonna finish this video because I gotta get this out before I start this journey. I said, instead of being tough, instead of trying to stand my ground to these people and prove that I can take this and, you know, it ain't nothing to me, I'm like, I need to leave. And it's so crazy, right? Because this was a job that I was trying to leave for years, bro. Not even years, but I would say right at the moment I left my mom's house, because I only kept it for conveniency, bro. I worked Friday through Tuesday, 3 to 11. I was the youngest worker there. I was there since I was 19, bro. And I was like 25, right? And I'm like, it was such a tough thing to do, but I realized like God was low-key pushing me. God was like, you need to leave. Why stay here? Why sit here? And, you know, I was telling myself I needed to stay because, it, you know, it was the money, and, you know, I could save up money and then I could just go leave somewhere else since I'm not going to move here since it ain't safe anymore. And I'm like, I just walked out my job. And you know what's so crazy? My manager was like, no, don't leave. Just go back in the package room and just finish the packages. And I'm like, but y'all know I've been going through this. Y'all know I've been being harassed, and y'all know y'all workers going through this. And they would leave, bro. So that mean I was like fresh meat to these people after like my office left. And I'm like, y'all not protecting me. And it's like, now I gotta sit here and deal with people being obsessed with attacking me, trying to have energy transfers taken away from me. Like, nah. And I just left. Even then was still being stalked, bro. Was catching the same cars, bro. Look, I done already documented this, turned this in and everything, right? It ain't as bad as it is now because, look, I ain't even gonna get into it, but at the end of that, right, at the end of this year, and that's like my second biggest thing, right? My mom kicked me out, then I was going through the stalk and stuff, but then the third thing was me now walking away from this and trying to go to my family, you know, just telling them, expressing to them what I was going through, how I had to go to the cops. And man, I tell you, none of my family reacted the way that I needed them to react. I'm telling my older sisters not responding to the messages. It was almost seeming like these people already knew what the hell I was going through. And I'm just like, Like, y'all, I need y'all. Like, I'm telling y'all I'm going through this, y'all turning a blind eye. Y'all not answering my texts. And then when it's like, when I'm bringing it up, now it's like, I have my family telling me I need to go to a mental institute. But when your family was coming to you telling you I was being stalked, harassed, defamed, all of this, potentially set up into dangerous situations, y'all have nothing to say about that? I ended up blocking all they ass. And guess what? I had family members reaching out to me. Hey, I got hit in the head with a crowbar. And I'm like, but I told you what I was going through. And all I said is I needed space so I can heal, so I can actually be able to listen to you. Nobody was trying to respect that. And my little sister still calling me like, well, I'm going through stuff too. I ended up blocking her ass. You know what's crazy too? At the end of this year, and I can't say too much because I got an active case, right? My grandmother calls me on Christmas. My grandmother knows everything because she's my mother's mother. And she raised my mother. My mother didn't have a good upbringing. My mom would tell me all types of shit. My family is very karmic. But my grandmother calls me, right? Hey, Nene. Oh, and I can tell she already knows. So I'm like, hey, grandma. Because she's even texted me a few times and I ain't respond. So she knows what's going on. And my grandma is very manipulative and karmic herself, right? She gets to talking to me like, yeah, how you doing? What's going on? And I tell her. And I remember in this moment, like, how I felt telling my grandma. Kind of felt good, but also was hurting more because I realized she wasn't coming to me really to, like, nurture me. You know, it was like she just wanted to investigate. What did I know? I'm telling my grandmother all the things I'm going through. And then she even acts like she already knew the information, right? It was no, like, processing time. It was just like, And I remember my line, this line I can't get out of my head, bro. My grandmother says to me, well, you know, Nene, you gotta be careful. Because some people might even want to kill you. And I just go, an Easter egg, huh? Not even a saving, just an Easter egg. Cool. I'm like, huh? Kind of play along because I know my grandmother, I know my family. So I'm like, I even reiterate, right, what I was going through this year and how I feel like all the connections is that number, all the weird stuff that was happening at the end of the year, and how I was telling people I was catching on to them. My grandma goes, well, you know, Nene, well, you know, and then she gets to talking about herself. I know how to take care of myself. And would you believe what I was going through with your uncle? Started all this loading, right? Oh, I've been going through this, and after I just told you what I was going through, and then you say that weird line to me, now you gonna sit here and look. After I got off the phone with my grandmother, I even hung up on her. I mean, not even hung up on her, I blocked her. And I'm like, it's cool. And then you know what's crazy? You know what happens too? I ended up getting a message. Let me read this to y'all so y'all just know I'm not lying to y'all, and I ain't got nothing to lie about. That I was truly being attacked and insulted and harassed. I ended up posting this message on my page too. Let me show you real quick. I'm gonna read this to you, and I'm gonna finish it right here, right? On December 31st, right after all of this happened, even after I was calling people out, I got a text on December 31st. Okay, 2 a.m. in the morning. A random number, I don't know, calling me 10 times. I'm hanging up each time. I'm like, who is this? End up texting them again. Who is this? Nobody to you, it seems. What? So I'm like, okay, have a good night. This person like, fuck you. I see you decline my calls. And I'm like, who the hell is playing on my phone? I'm like, this number isn't even saved. Yeah, because you only care about yourself. You better be safe. I'm like laughing my ass off. It's like, it's very crazy people out here. It's true. Then I'm like, well, who are you? This person like, I'm not a stranger. We've been talking. But the whole time this person isn't telling me their name. This is the type of stuff I'm going through, bro. I'm going to leave it at that, right? I even post a bit of the screenshot up there so y'all can see. The reason why I got to drop this video now, before I even get into this journey, because I'm calling this a self-exposure project, where I'm allowing myself to take back all the years that I told myself I couldn't do something because I was going through shit with other people. Now that I've eliminated all these people out of my life, I see I have all the ample time to do everything that I've been wanting to do. And I've realized these people are also trying to set tactics on me so I could slow down and I wouldn't be able to do these things. Which sounds crazy, but people will do that. I'm starting all the way over from ground zero at 25, bro. I'm not the happiest about that. I'm kind of ashamed about that. And not ashamed, but You know, I'm saddened by it because I did have a family. I did have a foundation that was buildable on. But then I had karmic family members around. I had people who wanted to seem bigger than the program. People who wanted to take and manipulate and lie instead of grow and do shit the right way. And I had to walk away from all of that. I didn't want to. And I had people who were looking at me like, yeah, well, where you gonna go? You got all your eggs over here. You just gonna leave all of this shit? Go think over it. It's like people were like... Point is, I had a hell of a 2025. And this 2026, I'm owning it to myself to take all of that shit back. I don't care about what happened to me. I don't care about being stalked anymore. And I even seen how the justice system handled that shit. And I even realized at the end of the day, you just need to know how to defend yourself. Still go put out that information though, because if it get messy, at least you got the backup to say, hey, I was coming to y'all, right? With this video, man, it's a testimony to what I was going through, and also it's a message to those who may be going through the same thing, to see another face kind of talk about it in a raw sense. Keep going, okay? I'm gonna keep going, and I want everybody who's in a tough position right now to keep going. I get it. Life is not easy, and it's taken a lot for me to even come on here and share all of this on a digital platform so I can truly move on and do what I came here to do as an artist. Although these situations broke me down, I left with more than what I, kind of left without, if that makes sense, or left back, or whatever, the saying is. I'm getting a little choked up, but although I went through all of that, I got my peace back. I'm not around people who are manipulating me no more. I'm not around people who are just watching me just to watch me. And trust me, there were over 10 people involved in this. Trust me, I got something built. Like, I got something legal right now going on right now, right? I know how to protect myself, but the point is, I was able to see this. I never thought I would go through anything like this until I went through it, and I'm like, wow. And I'm telling you, all these people who were involved in this were miserable. And they did not like the way that I had this face, and all of these weird times I had a confidence about at least me being comfortable. And it's like people needed to see me down and broken for them to feel better in their position. So look, you listening to a fucking underdog. Keep fucking going. I was attacked. Was trying to rob me, trying to set me up, trying to make me look like I was crazy so I wouldn't be able to tell my truth. Keep rocking. And with this video, man, like, I'm posting it for me to let myself know you did it. You didn't let these people get to you. And it's hard. And see, these people don't want you to admit that, but I don't care about showing my heart to the world. This shit is hard. And it's hard doing it by yourself, but one thing I do know, you get stronger each and every day. And this shit get easier to face, and you realize, like, damn, this is truly what being an alchemizer is, bro. And see, when you go out here, you got a lot of takers. People who don't know how to heal, so they hurt people. They had these energy transfers, and they keep going. But the thing is with these people, they weak, because they got to keep doing it. Whereas what I'm doing right now, all this healing, I ain't got to run at nobody and take from them. I'm literally a damn near an altar, a temple myself. It's a lot of broken people out here. And I'm going to see you again. We're going to talk again. But I need you to be safe. I need you to protect your energy. I need you to get closer to Allah. And if your relationship is a little shaky, it's okay. You just need a little understanding. And it's not what you think it is out here with these people telling you. We got so many narratives. I need you to get closer to yourself so you can actually figure out what the truth is. And I'm telling you, once you get there, it ain't going to change the way everything is happening out here, but the way you react to it will change. And I have faith in you. So keep rocking. And I'll see y'all next time.